It's going to be a quiet Eagles offseason, huh? You shall not challenge Howie Roseman ever. Howie Roseman is Howieing again. And the offseason hasn't even started yet. So the Eagles, holy shit, they just acquired Michael Bennett. So they traded a 5th-round pick and Marcus Johnson to Seattle for Bennett and a 7th. So it looks like a Seattle overhaul is coming. There's also news that Richard Sherman might be released. We'll see what happens with that. But Michael Bennett is an Eagle. This is shocking because if there's a unit that the Eagles really didn't need to improve on, it was their defensive line. Well, now you've got Michael Bennett, you've got Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Timmy Jernigan, Derek Barnett, deep penetration. And here's the thing about Bennett. So from what I'm reading, he's got a cap hit of $6.6 million. The Eagles are already $10.4 million in the red. So Howie Roseman clearly has a plan as to how he's going to shed all of this salary. Maybe he just wanted a challenge. I don't know. But this is crazy. Shenanigans. All right. So let's get into what Michael Bennett does as a player. And, he is 32 years old. He comes off a season where he had 8.5 sacks. But he hasn't slowed down yet. And it's kind of like Brandon Graham's situation where he's gotten better as he's gotten older. So you want to talk about balance and technique and heavy hands. That's what Michael Bennett does. He can rush inside of a tackle. He can rush outside of it with a speed rush. He can do a little bit of everything. He's got a plethora of different pass moves. He's plays with a high football IQ. He understands when the time snap counts. He understands angles. And he can also line up as a defensive tackle. So, my God, you might be seeing situations where, we saw Brandon Graham line up as a defensive tackle at times. Well, now you can have Graham on the field, Bennett on the field as a defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox, Chris Long, whatever you want to go, whatever you want to put out there. This is crazy. This defensive line, how are quarterbacks going to be able to get the ball out? My goodness. So I'm trying to wrap my head around this and trying to, figure out now what the Eagles are going to do in terms of the caps situation. Vinny Curry's going to be a goner now, I would think. You got the Brent Selleck situation, $5 million he's set to make this year, $4 million if you cut him, $1 million dead cap. I just made a video about how the salary cap is increasing and how it might affect the Eagles. Well, I can still see a situation where they bring back Selleck for $1 million. So we'll see about that. This also kind of tells me that they're going to trade Nick Foles because he's a $5.4 million savings if you trade him. And the Eagles are going to have to shed a lot of salary. So, crazy. So this is what Howie Roseman likes to do. This is how he has separated himself from other general managers, by being different, because you're not used to seeing trades in the NFL. Well, we weren't used to seeing them until Howie Roseman came into town, and he came back from his bunker, and he showed Chip, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. Howie Roseman is Howieing. So he has changed what the NFL is doing in terms of trades. Because I remember this past trade deadline, it was like the most trades I've ever seen before. You usually see the trade deadline pretty quiet. Well, now it's almost like the baseball trade deadline where you see a flurry of moves. We saw the Seahawks try to make a move. And we saw the Eagles obviously acquire Jay Ajayi before the deadline. So we usually don't see big-time players move via trade. And I feel like Roseman is so ahead of the curve in this regard that, the value that he had to give up, he sent a 5th, but he's getting a 7th back from Seattle, and you get Michael Bennett. Scam artist. He scammed Seattle. And you know, Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons, they were a team that were very interested in Michael Bennett, and the Eagles plucked him away from them. Howie gonna Howie. Howie Roseman is Howieing. Defending Super Bowl champs just got better. Dynasty in Philadelphia. Welcome to the show, Michael Bennett. Welcome to Philly.